Hi friends, welcome to my second channel. It's something that I wanted to start for a couple weeks now, but I never really got around to it. And this is called Grumble Volcano, where I pretty much kind of shift over to a commentary style. These videos aren't really going to be edited. There's no scripts usually, it's just something I want to talk about, get off my chest. Any sort of topic I was feeling. And I do have a couple topics to start things off with. This is going to be typically one per video unless I have a grab bag of things. And I just wanted to make sure I could get this video out on time. So I'm starting with probably the easiest topic that I have, and that's, if you're reading the title of the video, that's the MCU Phase 4 and my thoughts on it. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm a pretty massive MCU fan. I'm pretty big into Marvel now because of the MCU as well. And not to show any clear biases or whatever, but I do have my own little Moon Knight statue here. And the picture behind me was picked with purpose. But I've been seeing a lot of discourse on Twitter, specifically like ever since Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness came out. And there may be light spoilers for that near the end of the video, and spoilers for everything in the MCU up to this point. Which is, Doctor Strange just came out 3 days ago, so that's your spoiler warning for that. But we're going to be going from WandaVision up to the end of Moon Knight for the most part. But there's this, there's been a lot of trends going on Twitter recently, specifically today, that I noticed that makes me want to tackle this one first. And that's somebody posted rank the 5 Phase 4 Marvel movies in order. And I did want to go over my ranking, which I did tweet about if you're curious in that. And I want to pretty much go over that as well as the shows. Starting off at the bottom is no one's surprised, Black Widow. That movie, as someone who likes every MCU movie, that is the worst one. It's not a good movie, it's not fun, and it kind of ruins the lore, the fact that it exists. Not because it does anything to do that, it just brings it down just by existing. It's so inconsequential, it's pointless. I do love her suit in it though, it looks great. Apparently I have a thing for white suits, they look nice. The next would be the Eternals, which aren't a surprising bottom two. I'm somebody who actually likes that movie quite a bit. I saw it twice. I saw it once in theaters and thought, it's whatever. Inconsequential. I thought the characters were fine. I thought, who plays Icarus? He's played by Richard Madden. Richard Madden is the only actor I had a problem with in that movie, because he is walking around as if if he bent over, his entire body would just snap in half. He is so stiff, and I know that's probably part of the point, because he's supposed to be the stoic, super eternal man who does everything right. But he's just so boring, and just bend over, please. Not that I don't want him to, but he just looks like it hurts. Looks like it's painful for him. But I'm gonna be quoted out of context for that. Bend over, please, Icarus. But after that, it would be a shocking choice for many. Is Spider-Man No Way Home. And as somebody who loves that movie, somebody who loves Spider-Man, as many do, and somebody whose favorite Marvel character of all time is one of the Spider People, Silk. It's the only merch that isn't $200 that I could get. It's boring. Well, I don't really want to say boring. It's like a letdown, I guess. I'm a huge fan of Charlie Cox. I was really glad he was in that movie. It was a fun time. I liked it more the more I watch it. But the pacing is really, really bad, I would say. The pacing's like pretty awful, all things considered. It zooms through the parts that are actually like interesting and important, as if they don't matter, with the death of Mysterio, just to get to the whole Doctor Strange part where Doctor Strange was acting really weird the whole movie. In addition to just, I don't know. It's just a strange movie. And for people who say that the Spider-Man and show up at the end of the movie, they show up at the halfway point based on the runtime. They show up at like an hour 15. We have a full hour with them. And while they were both great, even as someone like me who doesn't like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man at all, they were both great. They're fantastic. And I know what I just said probably discredits everything I say, but those movies aren't good. They're not good. Stop pretending they are. Stop tricking yourself into thinking they're good. They're not good. I liked them when I was younger. They're not good. And my number 2 movie is probably the biggest sleeper hit of the Phase 4 so far. And that's Shang-Chi. That movie was a character that nobody really knew or cared about, unless you're like hardcore into Marvel. And it was like really good. It's probably my favorite soundtrack out of the entire MCU. It was just a really good time. I've seen it probably like 6 times already. I own almost every MCU movie. I'm still missing some of the older ones, like Thor 1 and 2, for example. I don't have those yet. Low priority. But yeah, they're just so good. It was just such a good time. The first time you watch it, it does feel like there's a slog in the middle of the movie, but the more you see it, the more that doesn't exist. And that's because MCU movies are really, really weird. Where the more you do repeat viewings, the better they get. And the only movie I can think of that doesn't really adhere to that is Doctor Strange. Now, light spoilers, I'm going to try to keep as spoiler-free as possible in what I'm about to say. Excuse me. I don't think I'm going to be spoiling anything, actually, now that I think about it. Because I've had to tiptoe around people this weekend for those who haven't seen it. But I saw it twice. I saw it with my wife on Friday, and then I went to take my mom to see it on Saturday. Because they both love the MCU, they both love Doctor Strange and Wanda, and, it's a good time. And seeing it 2 days in a row, I feel like I enjoyed the plot better the second time. Not that it was bad the first time by any means, but I didn't enjoy the shocking moments nearly as much the second time. I don't know how much of that is chalked up to watching it 2 days in a row and knowing they're coming, knowing when they're happening, instead of letting it sit for a little bit. Because I saw it at 6:50 p.m. on Saturday, and I went to bed relatively soon after getting home, probably around like 11. And then I went to go see it at 2 o'clock on Saturday after waking up at like 11 or something. I don't really remember. But I don't know if it's just the short shelf life in between viewings, or it's something with the movie. It's something that I'm going to have to let sit for longer. I very much enjoyed it, and obviously it's my favorite of the Phase 4 so far, as far as the movies are concerned. And it's definitely a top 10 MCU movie for me, at the very least. I don't have a way to place it just yet, but it's highly up there. And it's a good time, and don't take your kids to see it. Keep your kids far away from that one. It is let's just say there's a specific scene that you all know I'm talking about, who have seen it, that is burned into my mind because it was so good, but it was also like, I can't believe they did that in a kids movie. And I do have to give reluctant props to Sam Raimi. I know I've already kind of poo-pooed on him earlier with Tobey Maguire, but I do not like him as a director. Do not really like his vision. and it really seems like he was reined in this movie, which is what I wanted to happen. There is bits and pieces of him in it, which is good. Like, as far as like creativity or creative freedom goes. But at some points it does seem to suffer from him being at the helm, because there's like this scene where they're like doing transitions between Wanda learning a new power, and Wong's face just kind of like fades in on the top of the screen. It just kind of sits there for a minute. It's like really weird, and they also do like circle wipes multiple times, and it looks bad. It looks bad. I don't care what anyone says. I know I'm not a film director, but it looks bad. It took me out of the movie, and that's probably a cardinal sin in movie making. The fact that your editing distracts me, and to not be a anti-Sam Raimi shill or whatever, I will criticize my favorite Marvel movie, which is a little bit basic, sure, but Iron Man 1 has something very similar. When he's trying to take the suits off after the Gulmira scene, and Pepper walks in and she goes, "Are those bullet holes?" And then after that scene, which is a very short scene for some reason, it just like side wipes through it, and it looks bad and weird. Doctor Strange 2 does a lot of stuff like that, and it's just distracting. It's experimental, sure, and it's a little trippy, which I guess fits for Doctor Strange, but it took me out of the movie, and I feel like that's bad. I feel like it's just objectively bad. Yeah, that's how I rank the movies so far. And I am really excited for Thor. None of the movies in particular, other than Fantastic Four, are really on my radar right now, because I'm more interested in the show universe right now. The Marvel shows are where I'm getting more of my hype filled. And as of recording, Ms. Marvel is not out yet. It is coming out in June, I believe. I told someone about it earlier today. What was it? It is, if my phone will cooperate with me. Oh, no, it's frozen. That's cool. Alright. June 8th is when it's coming out. And it's May 8th right now. So we got a little bit out. And for those of you who don't know, Moon Knight also ended a couple days ago. But we're going to start at the beginning with WandaVision, as it's the most relevant to what I was just talking about. But I haven't seen it since it came out, so maybe my opinions are a little not accurate. But it is my second least favorite of the MCU shows. And I know that's a really hot take, because it's a lot of people's favorite. But I don't care about Vision as a character, and I don't really care about Wanda as a character, so I didn't get a whole lot out of this show to begin with. I thought it became significantly less interesting as it went on. There was a lot less horror elements, and a lot less intrigue as the episodes went on, because it just became like there was no mystery behind it. Catherine Hahn was fantastic. I really like... I don't know her name. Let me look it up. Teyonah Parris, who played Monica Rambeau. She was fantastic. Always love to see Jimmy Woo. Teyonah Parris is literally like the only reason why I'm excited to see the Marvels. And I liked Captain Marvel, but it wasn't like, oh god, I gotta go see it kind of movie. I probably like it more than most people do. Yeah, it was enjoyable whenever they were around, but it wasn't enough. And I probably might get heat about this, but I don't like the kids. I thought the kids were annoying. Less so in the show. I guess a little bit backtracking to Doctor Strange, because we know that from the trailers that they're in it. And here is a very mild spoiler for Doctor Strange. So I looked up the actors' ages, or at least the age for Wiccan, the kid who plays Wiccan, and he's 11. And in Doctor Strange, there is a scene where him and his twin are supposed to be singing a song about being good boys and wanting ice cream. And they are too old to be acting like this. To be acting like 5-year-olds. Like, I have a son. And I know that he doesn't really act like that, and he's almost 8. So you're telling me 11-year-olds are doing a duet about wanting ice cream? No. They are almost teenagers. If they want ice cream, they'll just go get it. And I know that's not really a fault of Doctor Strange per se, because they're obviously reusing the same actors as WandaVision. But I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. But after that came probably the lowest rated MCU show, and that was The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I admit that this show is unfinished. I admit that this show has a pretty significant plot line that probably got axed. However, as someone who didn't really care about the Falcon, is so unimpressed with like the Bucky character in general, I ended up really, really loving that show. It's one of my favorites. And I know this is probably making me come off as a contrarian, but I'm not, I swear. But it's a really, really good show. I could watch literal hours of those two sitting in a room just talking. Now that's mostly what it is, and a lot of the MCU shows are just people sitting in a room and talking and not going anywhere. Hawkeye was like that, WandaVision was like that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like that. Which now that I'm looking at this list I pulled up, because I had to restart my phone since it like froze on me. It's not up here. Let's see. Yeah. Loki was like that for quite a bit as well. It was just a good time. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I probably have to watch it again. I do understand why people think it's boring. And there are people who say that it's just a boring, uninspired show and the action's like not fun, and I get that. It's very subjective. The action was whatever for me, myself. Because it's where the character interactions really lie for me, and a lot of things. And I don't know, it just worked for me. It's probably 4th. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 out. Yeah, that makes sense. So for the shows, I put WandaVision at 5th, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier at 4th. And I don't know. This show really made me like Sam Wilson as a character, and I even added him to my read list on the Marvel Unlimited app, which not sponsored, but love to be. I haven't read any of his comics yet, but I loved his suit, loved the character, and I would like to delve into that character some more and read more about him because he's pretty cool. And now for the second best MCU show, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people put this one at their first, and it used to be at my first, but that's Loki. And Loki, it was a character that I didn't care about in the movies until Thor Ragnarok. It's the only movie I care about him in. And I'm somebody who likes Dark World more than most people. It's not that great of a movie, but I do enjoy it. It's got some cool stuff in it, like the black hole grenades. But Loki was a character I was never impressed with, although Tom Hiddleston did carry the character. Fantastic actor. He never really resonated that much with me. But the show? Oh god, the show is so good. It hits the fan like In episode 2, Sylvie is a fantastic character. Jonathan Majors was amazing. The whole show was just a delight. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. I want more. I'm glad we're getting more soon. I think they're filming in a couple weeks. I don't remember if that was a corroborated thing Tom Hiddleston said or is wrong or whatever. I just remember hearing about it. But it was a great time, and just it was so good. It was so good. It was one of the few shows that I was just like, man, I can't wait till week to week. But then we contrast that with the worst MCU show, and that's What If. I watch What If every week. I watch every show as they come out, and What If is just boring. It's weird. I don't really care about the concepts. Episode 4 was the only good episode. Let's see. Because episode 1 was the Captain Carter one, which was, it was alright. T'Challa became Star-Lord. The episode did make me cry at the end because of the tribute to Chadwick Boseman. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Whatever. It's just whatever. Doctor Strange episode number 4, it was fantastic. Amazing episode. I've seen it multiple times. What If Zombies? Cool concept. I'm glad we're getting another show out of it. Indifferent otherwise. What If Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? It feels like fan fiction, man. I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I mean, I don't hate the episode or anything, but as a concept, it's like it feels like a fanboy wrote it. It's just, I don't know. It feels like it was made on Wattpad. What If Thor was an only child? A nothing episode. What If Ultron won? That was a great idea because the character was squandered in that terrible, terrible movie. But, And What If the Watcher broke his oath? I don't remember much about it, so that should say all it should about it. Yeah, it was the worst MCU show, and the fact that it won animated movie or animated content of the year over Invincible is an absolute crime. And whoever went into that decision should be fired and arrested forever. But that brings us to Hawkeye, which is a show that I've been seeing a lot of negativity towards lately, which I don't understand. And it's my third favorite MCU show. I did not care about Hawkeye before, but Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop was amazing. I very much enjoyed watching her. They brought Kingpin back, which is amazing. The lady who plays Echo... I can't say her name very often because I have an Alexa. Maya Lopez is her name. Alaquia Cox? I'm probably butchering that name. Google how to pronounce. I can spell. What you got for me, Google? Alaqua Cox. She is amazing. For those of you who don't know about her, she plays Echo. I don't want to set it off. Who is a deaf superhero in the comics, and she is. I don't want to get the ethnicity wrong. I want to say she's Latino, but I could be wrong. No, she's Native American. Yeah, she's Native American. And they found an actual deaf Native American actress to play her, and she's both person. She was never an actress beforehand, which blows my mind because she did a phenomenal job for her first role. And she's also an amputee in real life, and she was pulling off those stunts. Incredible. incredible, so talented. I'm so excited she's getting her own show, and I hope Charlie Cox is in it because he's the love of my life. And hey, just a great job. I thought the chemistry between Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner was amazing, and it was overall just a great time. Great time, and that show does not get the recognition it deserves, I think. I do wish we got more Kingpin, but he's coming again eventually. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And obviously, if you did the process of elimination, you can, and notice my bias, you can probably figure out what show I think is the best. And that's that guy. That guy right there. I'm gonna give him a little smooch. There he is. Moon Knight is my second favorite hero, like superhero, just in general. I loved him before the show. I got this bust off of Etsy before the show. I've been begging for that character in the MCU for 6 years now. Waited the 3 years ever since he got announced. And the show blew my expectations out of the water. The fact that they consulted actual psychologists for it, super smart. Because this is the type of thing that you have to take with absolute sincerity. You gotta take everything seriously as far as this is concerned, and they did. And the action scenes were cool. The suit I wasn't in love with at first, but then it grew on me, and I really do love it. And I don't know, it's just a great show. I love the main theme. I love that they got so much Egyptian stuff in it, from the director to the composer to Layla El Fouly, who is a fantastic character. Really, as someone who has a big history reading Moon Knight comics, I have many. They're behind my green screen, so I'm not going to pull them out. But them replacing Marlene was probably a very controversial choice among hardcore Moon Knight fans, but I don't really care. Marlene was kind of boring. She didn't really have anything else going on with her, to be honest. She was pretty generic, and if they change her to a snack like Layla, then I really hope they also change the name of Patrice, because that's a yikes name. But yeah, it was a fantastic show through and through. My wife has not seen it yet, so I cannot wait to watch it again for the third time to watch it with her. Everything about it was absolutely stellar, and I don't believe anyone that works on it that's saying it's not getting a season 2 or any continuation of any kind. It's at least getting a movie. It's getting something. It's happening. But it's an absolutely astonishing show. It's Ethan Hawke was amazing. Oscar Isaac deserves so many awards for his portrayal as Mark Spector and Stephen Grant and a certain other guy. And yeah, it's just amazing. It was so much better than I could have hoped it would be. And the best part about it is you do not have to watch any other MCU stuff to watch the show. It's completely standalone. There are some extras and Easter eggs and stuff that hint towards it. There's on the double-decker bus in London in episode 2, I believe, there is a sign for the Global Repatriation Council from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In his flat, there is a book on Asgard and Wakanda. And there's just little stuff like that. But overall, amazing show. My favorite by far, and it probably won't be topped. And while I'm excited for Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, the only other show I'm really looking forward to right now is Ironheart. And obviously, if Daredevil comes out, because Daredevil's up there for a favorite of mine. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, that's just my take on the current state of the MCU as far as rating everything goes, and public perception, and what I think in contrast. But otherwise, as far as the future of the MCU goes, I'm excited but cautious, because they seem a little aimless right now, and the movies like The Eternals that feel like the new Iron Man 2 of the franchise is worrisome. And the scrolls are, I like Iron Man 2, Uh, I have weird MCU opinions, I know, but it's worrisome because the multiverse stuff can get tricky really quickly and ruin the grounded nature of this thing that we all love so much. And I'm excited for Kang. I really am. But until then, we don't really know what to expect. It can get really messy really quickly, but if there's anything we've seen so far, is that Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness were really good movies and handled this multiverse stuff really well and in a really simple way. It was not hard to follow at all. So, it seems like we're heading after, I believe it's called Secret Wars, is the comic arc. A lot of them have so many similar names. The one that ended the Ultimate Universe and brought Miles Morales to the 616. That seems to be where we're headed. And it's scary and exciting. So, I wait with a bated breath for the optimistic future that we may have, because they haven't led us astray, and after Endgame they really have earned a lot of good faith from us. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of what will be the first episode of Grumble Volcano. I'll be getting into the next topic right away. In a different episode, it'll be trailing off of this one. But as a quick outro, if you guys don't know me, I have a main channel called Magma 743, where I do a lot of gaming YouTube videos. I do Pokemon Let's Plays, where every game, I'm going after every main series game, and I cannot reuse any Pokemon from past Let's Plays. And I am going to be redoing games. Like I finished Red, and eventually I'll be going back to Blue version and cycling through, so it doesn't get stale. So I'm not doing like Red, Blue, Green, Yellow all back together. I do release some oddball content, like me reacting to the Moon Knight trailer or Smash DLC. You'll see some Smash Ultimate videos from me from time to time, and my main source of content is Smash streams at twitch.tv/magma743, where I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST to 10 p.m. So if you wanted to come by and get some games, feel free to join. And yeah, I do have a Discord server and other socials and stuff that you can find over on my Twitch, and you can also follow the Grumble Volcano Twitter account, which is at Mumble Volcano with an M, because at Grumble Volcano was taken. That's all going live when this video goes live. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the next topic. But anyway, about that topic, I wanted to get started by